It's Saturday. Could be afternoon. Depends on where you are. Thought I'd come on through, chat for a little while, see what's going on, see what the haps. Talk about that purple sky last night. Hmm. If you got down with the purple sky, let me know. See what's up. Just kicking it on. See what we got, what we got, what we got. Hope I having a good day. I hope the weather's good wherever you are, where you're coming from. Um, you know, give it a moment or so. I know that I came on a little bit. You know, I never can ever get the stuff where I can tell people that I'll be on definitively because me and the YouTube thing be a little bit kind of disjointed, but we'll see though. Got to get on these computers real quick. Clear this thing over real quick. I always got something to do. So we got. Sure, eventually people come through. The heck? See what we're gonna be talking about. Just nice and live and see what we're working with. What's up? How you living? How you living? There we go. I was waiting for the man, the moment, the timing. And get into it. Did you catch that purple sky last night? Let me know. I saw everybody caught the purple sky last night. Okay, you're lucky. I didn't get it. Supposed to be a part 2 tonight, so I have to go out when I leave here. I'm gonna go try to see if there's a rumor going. So yeah, I heard about it. I heard about it. I heard about it. It's so rare too, because it's usually over in Alaska somewhere or Iceland or something. So that was cool. Better than the eclipse, I bet. The eclipse had people scared. You don't know what's coming in the sky these days. Some crazy times we're in. That's an understatement. Yeah. Anyway, we got to get that out the way. And we're going to talk about those two games. Not surprised by the Pacers at all, by the way. Figured they'd win that game. I think that series should go. What's up? That series should go 7. It really should. Because take Jalen Brunson out of the mix, they're very evenly matched. That should go 7. Wasn't surprised by Denver. And as I pointed to you too, Jokic, if he stays in the 24 to 27 range.
Okay, I found this on the web for Shugo 7. It really should take.
Okay, I'll address that. Okay, RC, what's up? Okay, Ted, you jumping? Okay, what's up? I'll address that. Let me get into my pacer cadence because I was impressed with that. But Denver, address the Nuggets real quick. Um, Very impressive that they did the team ball, but that's how they got to play to win, and then they can play some defense that way. They got to play like that. They got to play like that. Any other way, they don't have a chance. But the series could go either way now. If they beat Minnesota, then it'll be a long series and it'll favor them. It makes no difference because I'm gonna tell you why. He got 24, but his range is 24 to 27. So, two things with Jokic that I've noticed, and I'm sure you have too. Under 20 is not good, and over 30 is not good because he's got that triple double meter. So, if he can get 24 to 27 and do the 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, or whatever, that's perfect. Anything like the other night under 20 or over 30, they don't do good. Now, got that basketball out the way. Now, let me address what you said. Yeah, he did. You know, one thing about you that I like, you bring up stuff that's almost archaic, but I do remember it very well. So much respect to you. You're an old soul for real. Because I used to, if you want my honest opinion, I used to think that, I used to, would you agree with RC? I used to think that too about Shanahan. They did do that. But you know, the downside to that is that it kind of watered down Terrell Davis, because he didn't get his due as an elite back because Shanahan could bring so many backs and get 1,000 yards. And then you could also make the argument that Shanahan is also one of the reasons why running backs have been so expendable, because they had an employed a system where they could bring anybody in, it seems, off the street and get 1,000 for a couple years and get someone else. So he did really, his style did kind of hurt it. Funny you mentioned that. Because I don't really even think about that unless we have a football season or talks, but that is true. There is truth to what you said. He, and tell me what you agree with, RC. What you agree with. But yeah, you can make that strong case, Ted. That's, yeah. You would bring that up during basketball around this time, because I have thought of that, but I didn't really think about it. But it was always something in my mind, because I remember, was that Marino, and he had, oh, it was a Marino cat. He had all these different backs, yeah. And then those cats would come and go. And that's before we had the higher turnover running backs. But but TD was special though. And he never had that kind of success. Well, it was a fair game. Except for that except for that, what's that one dude that got clothesline, the Jewish cat, Hummersworth, whatever. I saw that I saw that turnbuckle grab when dude went through the lane, just snatched him out from the dude, went straight to the hole, and old boy got grabbed and took him out. I cracked up. But the refs owed Rick Carline that. They ain't gonna make that call in Indiana. They owe him a couple calls, so they got one there. Cause dude got closed out. Dude didn't even have a chance to defend the ball. Next thing you know, dude grabbed him from the back, snatched him off, and the dude drove in the hole. It's one of the last plays of the game. But it was a hilarious play because that was an obvious jack from the back. Yeah, he's the best player going today. I'm not going to argue that. However, I did get into it with this cat who was asking me if you traded him with Shaq and a three-peat, how Jokic would do. And I said, all due respect to Kobe, you could put anybody with Shaq from 99-02. Put Jamal Murray. That was hilarious, wasn't it? He snatched. I haven't I haven't seen that legally done in some years, so you gotta forgive me if I'm looking at like, okay, Adam Silver, okay, I see you. The boy was like, what happened? Got snatched. Just took him out, and then dude did a drive to the hole. I was cracking up. I'm like, wow. But he owed him that because Rick Carlisle had receipts. You know, they had 70, 80 plays of bad calls. Yeah, they owe him that. I expect it'll be 2-2. Unless, of course, New York can just jump all over them. They didn't like that play when old boy got snatched from the back and he got took out of bounds for defense. Cause what's his buddy who hit that shot before halftime the other night? He was defending. He was in the box, and old boy for Indiana just snatched him and pulled him off, pulled him out, hugged him up, and then dude did that drive. They ain't like that play. They ain't like that play. But they got no choice. They got to eat crow because two things everybody knows. Sheed was talking about it. Rick Carline does not get technicals, and he don't get thrown out of games. So they owe him. They owe him one more for the next game. So if it's a close game, Indiana gonna win. They owe him. That's payback. Because it was some bad calls. I didn't want to talk about it. I know you happy. I didn't want to talk about it. Of course he was going to bring him back. What else were they going to do? He ain't retiring. He too lame in the head to retire. But that's the last deal he's going to get. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a full one. Okay. It's a full and then it's an option. That's all it is. It'll either be 2 years or he'll be done in one. But he's all that's it. There's no more after that. And AD already said he had two left in him. So that's it. So unless they become a super team or something special happens, there's no more. We're done with him. It's business, yo. They did it for Kobe. They think they got to do it for him. That's all that is, yo. That's what's up. And they can't attract nobody, so they got to kind of go with him. It's called good faith. That's what that's about. It's all in good faith and honor. He got y'all a ring, so that's what that ring buys you. I think LeBron does too. But it has other fringe benefits for him. I don't think LeBron has not liked it. It's just that y'all got him too old. And y'all got him still greedy. If he worked with AD the right way, it might have been something. But he's got to clearly know he's at the end of the ropes. He's got to clearly know it now. I agree. And in my Shaq video, thank you. I also went in on Shannon. You can't call a guy from another profession that you're not part of. Because Ocho brought up a good point. He says, I never really looked at it like that. You can't really go into another style and critique somebody when we got guys who are great in your style who could be critiqued too. That's why I brought up Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. I wasn't picking on you Packers per se, but let's keep it real. Two of your quarterbacks are considered two of the 15 to 20 greatest quarterbacks ever. And they had a lot of MVPs. See where I'm going with this? So I asked Shannon, well, how about these guys? And I didn't lie either. I didn't tell a lie. Because as great as Peyton Manning was, his Super Bowls were boring and they stunk. And he never matched his postseason with his offseason, his regular season dominance. Did we call him an underachiever? I mean, because you make the case Eli's had a better postseason appearances than Peyton has. We both know that. What's happening? How you doing? All right, now appreciate you. But you know, oh yeah, he is part paid by Clutch. He is paid. Well, he balanced him out. He balanced him out. He was the only thing for him because the defense got him where he got, as you know. And then when Denver won the Super Bowl with Von Miller, again, defense won the championship. So he had to understand that his hot shot style wasn't gonna work. So I don't know who you are. If you want to give me $10,000, you just donate it. Yeah, I wouldn't have to scream. I know, but I'm gonna let the turkey say something else, and then before I take it off, always one, always one. Get you mixed up with somebody else. That's what we got to deal with here. Anyway, I'm sure they'll say something else. But anyway, no, Dungy was a great coach. Well, see, this is the thing. Remember how Shannon Sharp got mad at uh Skip when Skip said you weren't no Brady. And so Shannon is trying to use the psychology against Shaq. But you out your jurisdiction, yo. You out your jurisdiction. Cause see, first of all, Shaq done something that your boy ain't done. Last to three-peat in the finals. Whether you like it or not, the last to do it. That carries crazy weight. See. So for all them 20 in a row that LeBron did, he ain't got no three in a row with chips. Yeah, he always wants to get mad and swole up and confront when people, and always talking about like he won't do something. Shaq ain't feeling him because Shaq knows that he's a clown. That's why, and he is. I remember when Shannon was went on CBS and he flopped, and then his butt got over with Skip. He was on NFL Network and he was just running. Then he got this persona. His personality kicked in. And see, if I'm Shaq, I could go real low ball. Because I could say, you ain't even the best sharp in your own house, family house, which is true. Sterling got hurt, but tell you something, Sterling was a better receiver than Shannon was as a tight end. I'm going to keep it 100. Sterling just got hurt, had that neck injury. That's all. Sterling was a big boy. He was bad. He was bad. Shannon worked hard. I give him that. And he just had the but his brother was more talented. And you can quote me on that. If he ever I tell him Sterling was the better one of the two. Hmm. Shannon just got more notoriety. That's all. He was great, but you notice all these tight ends come along and then surpassed him. So he wasn't that distinctive. Of course, he bops his head because he's living his best. He's living his life right now. Kelsey passed him. Grunk passed him. Of course he is. Of course he is. And see, call him out on his hypocrisy, which I did in my video. Tell you about my video because I went after him. I said, won't you stick to your profession? I said, won't you come after Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre? I could say they all underachieved. I could. I told you about that video. And that was the coldest diss. That was a diss track. You talk about cold. His teeth was all out. And he was all buttered. And then, boom, I won't vote you because you Indian. I was like, oh, whoa. And then his face just went, oh, where your face go, Vinny? That's what we call him. Vinny Ramsey. You Vivek. You thought you were Vinny Ramsey. Where your mouth go? Where your teeth at? Shannon didn't like the fact that Brady was dominant. And if you remember, when everybody used to tell him that it was Brady 75%, it was Belichick 25%, he used to say the opposite until Belichick got stuck with mac and cheese. And when Mac and Cheese Jones stunk up the joint, then he came around. He was late on that role for a guy that's so observant. How did he miss that one? Hmm. Told you. He sure did. Old Vivek thought he was in the catbird seat. No Ann Collier, like the typical hateful. I give her listen. One thing I like about her, I admire racists for one reason. They let you know that you ain't shuffling, and we don't. They say you're not bad for what you got, but you still ain't white. I always love when they come and break them off. I love it. I love it. That's what you get for shuffling and bucking. You want a buck? Okay. And they're like, you're not bad, but you're not white. That's what she said in English. That was the cold, hard facts. I see your white teeth. You about to call yourself Vinny Ramsey too, ain't you? Like Chef Ramsay. And if you were white, I'd like you better. That's what would have. I mean, the jokes write themselves. They wrote themselves. Oh yeah, he got his feelings. He was bombed. He ain't felt that way since he was 5 years old. And Santa Claus didn't want him on there his lap. I'm telling you, he got the diss track of the week. His diss, Vivek's diss was worse than Drake's. Worse. That was worse. That was the worst diss track. And I laughed too. Couldn't happen to a more warmer guy. You want to be white so bad? There you go. Vinny Ramsey. Oh, they are butter boys. That's for real. There's a lot of that go on till that bomb go off. Shuffling and grinning, and then boom. Oh, yeah, that big O comes at you. That bomb, that big old O, that smoke in your face. Then the white folks like, get out of my face, Toby. Start calling you Toby. That's why I call him. And old Ramsey, Vivek was bopping his head to Eminem and talking all racist and janky and trying to talk like a Junior Whopper Trump. That's what he was. He was more Junior Whopper Trump than DeSantis. Yep. Try to fit in, but you can try. Try as you might. They gonna say something to you. Gonna say something to break your feelings. You're better off just ignoring or expecting it because that's what's up. It never works in your favor. As you always say, it never works. Try though. Like I saw that white chick on that video that told Beyonce, "We own you. You can't claim this. We own you." There's a video out there on these YouTube streets. White girls all in the video talking about, "We own you. You ain't really country." Oh yeah, Jason Aldean. I did that video about that. Jason Aldean said, "I don't want that whack record." Yeah, I seen that too. They don't know you. You fit in, but you don't fit in that much. And so I'm gonna tell you something too. Only time you gonna be cool with white folks if you black really is they putting some money or they putting something where they acknowledge with the struggle. Other than that, if they ain't putting no money or acknowledging what's up, you gonna get pimped. Usually. It has to be that way. They gotta think some of you to tell the truth. And it's one thing to have, you can have friends or backgrounds. That ain't the problem. It ain't the problem or entertainment. Well, entertainment. So let me ask you. So when you say entertainment, what do you mean? Do explain. Because I got a take on entertainment. I just want to see where you're going when you say entertainment. They don't really love him. No, the thing is, okay, I'll tell you about him. He was fashionable, right? But when them white folks put some money, you remember what happened? So we'll go back 30 years ago. CB4 was a big movie. And then he ended up stuck with Bill Maher. And you know how Bill Maher is. So he ended up having to do politically incorrect and get back on the scene before he blew up again. They they let him say the N-word in front of Jerry Seinfeld on their live show. He did that comedy thing with CK what's that white boy name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And he said the N word and he got all comfortable. Yep. That's what I was just saying. And so he says stuff. But the problem with him is that he never could pull the movies. He had one big hit, it took a while, and they stopped messing with him. That's why he been doing chitlin circuits. Who till Will put that two-piece on him, he was in chitlins. He was still doing okay spots, but you notice his film career went down like Titanic because they can't make no money off of him. I don't recreate no Drake videos. I'm not gonna talk about Drake or Kendrick Lamar. I did a video about Stevie Wonder. Oh yeah, and he was an ugly looking skinny toothpick in that thing too, because I was in CB4. He'd do anything, yo. I didn't forget. I tried to forget. I didn't. And it didn't work against him. It didn't work for him. Let me tell you stuff about him. He got some cool one-liners, and his stage show was cool, and he could get over some one-liners, but no one bought him as no actor on the screen. He was a junior whopper, Eddie. And Eddie had him in Beverly Hills Cop too, but no one ever bought him pulling a movie. Just wasn't buyable. His range doesn't work. I think, and some of it might be because he's a New York comedian. What I mean by that is that he just so acts that role that there's just no juice to him. So no one cared about that old Crayola Coca-Cola toothpick. Sorry. The dress didn't do nothing for him one way or the other. Yeah, he had moments back then off with Farley and those cats. But again, it goes back to what I said. His sitcom is, that kind of humor, staging. But in the movies, he even admitted it. It didn't really translate. He never was that dude. He never had what Martin Lawrence had, or Chris Tucker. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. See, if you're gonna be a successful black comedian, you got to make that thing happen at the box office. Now you can hate, and I'm not a fan at all of Kevin Hart, but that little turkey, he keeps the cha-ching going at the box office. Yeah, Farley could have been like John Candy. Could have been like a John Candy Belushi for his generation. I believe that. I liked him too. But you know how that Hollywood life is. Gets in them parties. If you ain't giving up them cheeks for checks, you getting your nose took. So something's given took. You know how it go. He in a Sam Kinison kind of way, probably. Because I hold Sam Kinison like that. Could have been one of them loud white boys who really could have gotten over. Especially when I think about McLovin, when I think about Seth Rogen and all that, he could have definitely had that. He could have definitely had that. Because he was entertaining. But again, it happens a lot, yo. That lifestyle gets these cats and you know. Yeah, well, it's pretty much par for course. That's what Pryor was about. That's what Robin Williams was about, yeah. The funnier ones always battling those demons. That's a fact. I see it with Cat Williams too. So, but yeah. But anyway, that's enough about Chris. That's what I had to say about old Chris Rocks. Davidson, what about him? What about Tommy? I got Tommy stories. Why he never got the Sammy Davis Jr. role, I'll never know. He would have been the Candyman. He was very talented. Yeah, it happens. It happens. It'd be a cold world, yo. Be some cold parents out here, yo. For people get all mad at Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight didn't alienate his sons, his children. That was after they was grown too. That whole thing. But some parents, people don't even know their kids. Yeah, I did a video about it just now. I just covered it. I think it was some jewelry or some money or something. They trying to get him tied up though. Hope you don't have to do nothing strange to get out though. Somebody got to give some booty, so you never know. It's strange over there if you don't know what you're doing over in them them real countries. Because in them countries where you go too far, they can act real funny with you. You better know where you are. Better know where you are. Well, no, so let me address that. If Minnesota have come with a arsenal, it could have happened. Um, but the thing is that Denver's offense should have been swept. Their offense has been horrible. Um, y'all should have beat them 4-1. And Minnesota looked like they were getting ready to get that. And they still might get them for one. I don't know. Because I don't know if Denver's offense is going to be consistent. You know, Jamal has to play. Can't be throwing an icy pad. You got to put an icy pack on his back and play. And Gordon's got to come up, and Porter's got to come up, and KCP got to show up. Like I said before, if Jokic is in the 24 to 27 range and he's triple doubling it, that's usually when they win. But if he got to go 30 plus or he's under 20, playoff MVP for who? For who? What playoff MVP for who? He had 2 game winners against the Lakers, but he didn't play up better than Jokic did. Jokic was dominant for the. You ever heard of Jalen Brunson? He ain't outplayed no Jalen Brunson. You say Jalen Brunson, I'll give you that, Alex, for 500. Yeah, Brunson's been the best. Brunson. Who else would I say? Brunson. Shea. Ant. Them 3. Then I'd say Joker. That's 4. And Donovan Mitchell have impressed me the most, if you want my honest opinion. That's been 5 that I would say at the top that's impressed me the most so far. But Murray hit 2 big shots against y'all, but he ain't have no he played his best last night. He ain't played no great game start to finish. He gonna get there eventually. He better get there. 'Cause that's the only way they're gonna come out of beating Minnesota. Luka would be in the next line. You notice I ain't say nothing about them cats in Boston. I ain't really been that impressed by their postseason. Yep, typical. And if they fool around, play around with Cleveland and lose a game, they in trouble. That mess go 6, 7 games, they could be had. I'm telling you. Because Donovan Mitchell is dangerous. I'm telling you. Now, I don't hold him as a team leader, so don't come at me about all this. But if he gets that, they got that lead, or you know, I already told you what I thought about Donovan Mitchell. I'd pursue him before I would KD next year. I'm telling you, as a sidekick. I'm telling you. That ain't got nothing to do with the all round careers. I don't want nobody coming at me talking about, well, you think he better than him all the time? No, ain't what I said. I said in the now. In the now. Donovan, you put Donovan with Jalen Brunson, they coming out the East. You put Donovan with Embiid. You put Donovan in Milwaukee. I'm putting him with the contenders. The Lakers would love him, but they got to give up something for him now. So I don't think that would happen. If I was the Clippers, I'd try to get him. There's quite a few teams that could use him. He's a steady scorer. I think highly of what I'm seeing because he can score. Not that he's a front leading guy. Let me get this straight. I don't look at him as a cat that can lead your team. That's why Shaq, when he said he ain't a superstar, he was right. However, if I have a next in line dude, he's the dude. He can score. And you'd be crazy not to have him as your sidekick. He'd be a scary sidekick. Now, I don't buy him as a top dog. No. That ship sailed. Cleveland is soft. He doesn't make them strong, but he can score. He didn't do nothing in Utah like that with Gobert. So they tried that 1-2 punch. But I see him as a dude that you put with a guy that can score and you put him alongside of an alpha. Oh, he's problematic. He's problematic. And he can hang with he's already did a Tatum. So but I'm not like, no, don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that, oh, he's I ain't saying that. Mm. They might be. I gotta think about that. They might be, but the problem is they got to get more out their starters. That's the ironic thing. They got to get more out their starters. Because what happened in that game is that Dallas out hustled them and hit some quickies on them. So they got to get more out of their starters. So you might be right, but they got to get something out their starters. They got a weak link in their starters. And then ironically, Dallas' secondary came and tore they behind up. So it's kind of funny you saying that because they got their butt toe up. So I don't know. If they get Tim Hardaway Jr. and PJ Washington and those guys to score, and they can force Shea to just be a scorer and don't let him and Chad, 1-2 punch and they don't get nothing out their starters, then you got a chance. But if you get Shea going, yeah, but I'm just telling you though, Shea gets going and they beat y'all because it's a close series. I will say this, it's close. So it's a close series. I don't know who this is, but what's up? Say hi, cat. You know who that is? Time for that. But you got a chance though. You got a chance. How you figure? I'll tell you who I see as an old school coach is Chris Finch. They don't play defense though. What you mean? Minnesota was playing defense. I don't look at Dallas as no defensive team. They can't. They what happened was is this. They not stopping Chad and not stopping Shea. But the problem is that OKC has deficiencies because they don't have a pure score on the perimeter. So they're beating them. They made some stops, but well, they're better than they were. But do I look at Dallas's defense like I look at Minnesota's? Heck no. Not even close. Not even close. But they have to play closer games. They can't get into shootouts. If you said that, I'll give you that. You call it defense first. I don't feel that they're defense first. I just think that they've gone against a team that they match up well against. And like I said, it's an evenly matched series. Just comes down to who can impose their will. Really, this series is about that because they're pretty evenly matched. It's about the overseas draft, yo. I know. You know what's so problematic? When you be asking me about what I think of this goes into when you kept asking me about what I thought about drafts and stuff, and I told you I stopped caring. This year's the greatest example. Because what did you care about this year? The WNBA. Everybody want to know where Andrew Reese was going. Everybody know where Caitlin Clark goes. It ain't the same for the NBA. That's why all this slurping about Bronny James is so big because ain't nothing out there. Not like that. And if it is a player, it's gonna probably be in the second round. Something. Be a sleeper. But and I never thought I'd see the day when it was that bad. Yeah, it's all overseas. So he do need the G League. He need to stay there for 2 years. And then he come up and bulk up a bit and get to the next level. It's gonna take a couple of years where he even entertains the NBA. But if they think there's something there, they'll put him there. They'll sign him to a little contract. If they think there's something there, but that would be hilarious if some team trolls him and picks him up. I crack up if it's like Toronto or something. That'd be hilarious. And then watch his passport will mysteriously disappear. Then you have LeBron avoiding Bronny, like Embiid and avoids Joker. To be something crazy. But no, I don't think. If somebody does draft him, it'll be yep. So I had this cat come at me talking about if could Kobe have won with Jokic, and I said I don't think so. I said Shaq was a special player, and then he said, "Well, you think Jamal Murray was?" I said Jamal anybody could have played with Shaq from '99 to '02. Shaq was that dominant, was that great. I'm not saying that Murray was as great as Kobe. I didn't say that, so don't get the two twisted. But I said when Shaq was at his peak prime, anybody got to play with him. And I'm like, I like how people like to throw Jokic like that. And again, it would have been what the system was, been who he's playing with. But I tell people we have to agree to disagree. I said Jokic is great for his era. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that video last night. That was the one I was holding back. That Patrick Ewing, because that one came to me in a clip, and I had to keep a straight face because I was like, he actually said this. I was like, wow. He been thinking, and Patrick Ewing been sleeping, staying sleepless nights. Talking about, yeah, we could just get the 92. I'd beat them Nuggets. I was cracking up. Yep. Talking about where got my ring. He said got my ring. I was like, what? And had Mark Jackson co-sign him. I said, look, I do like that podcast, but if I see them turkeys talking that craziness, I am like, I ain't watching that mess. Y'all talking crazy. Y'all talking real crazy. Talking about we would have beaten them. What the heck? Yeah, man. Cass be saying some crazy stuff sometimes. How about beating them Bulls first? Get out the Eastern Conference, then we'll talk. And for the record, they split with the Portland Trailblazers. But Bobby Duckworth put some points on them. I'm like, you know good well if Duckworth could scar him on y'all, what do you think Jokic would do to you? Cracks me up what these cats be saying though. They say that stuff with a straight face too. Mean that stuff. That's what was so sad. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it came to my clip. And that's why I was holding back. I said, "Oh, I got a video for you tomorrow." And I saw that mess. I was like, "Oh, he." I sat there and I was like, "He, he said this," and Mark Jackson agreed with him. I'm like, "What are you?" He said, "Yep, that'd be my ring." I'm like, "So okay, Patrick. Okay. How you look against Rick Smits with your finger roll that rolled off? Like I forgot. You think I forgot about that in '95? You think I forgot about your finger roll?" I mean, and he was so, excuse me, he was so underwhelming against the Rockets that Pat Riley just let John Stark. John, that would have been groundbreaking today. But Riley cut a lot of heat, just letting him shoot like crazy. They couldn't get nothing out of Ewing. Yeah, he was hurt. I'm talking about '94 in the finals. John Starks was shooting them threes. Like John Starks would have fit in great today. He had John Starks being the man because Patrick wasn't doing that. Yeah, he was hurt because I was Allen Houston in the trail, and they missed out not having him. Larry Johnson was there, but Duncan and Robinson was just blocking shots like crazy. Yeah, I remember because Houston and Spree were nice together, and that's what I'm saying. You give Jalen Brunson someone like Allen Houston, like a sidekick, they could go. That's all he needs. I like Dante, and he can score. It's just that if they had someone like Donovan with him, with those two, then they'd be scary. I don't know what that means with Julius Randle, but if you put somebody like that with them two, that's how I look at it. Well, if he comes up with some big plays, where they win more, then yeah, he'll really get that starts credit, similarity. what made Starks a fanfare is because he was a bag man, you know, and he made himself into an elite player. He was really good. And that's how I remember John Starks. Shots fired. That's why his butt's on the block. That's why his butt's on the block. He really ain't gonna be able to make it there with that kind of attitude. I'm Pat Riley all the way. Because what has Jimmy Butler done? And let me be real with you. I like Jimmy Butler. Thank you, because I'm going to use that as a video tomorrow. So thank you. See, the lack of respect is crazy. Thank you for letting me know. And he has a lot of audacity. Last I checked, Jimmy Butler's gone to 2 finals. He's got maybe a participation ring. He ain't got no winning ring. Last I checked, Pat Riley got him out of Philly in favor of Tobias Harris. Came out of Minnesota. Came out of Chicago. See where I'm going with this? So, you popping off, this is your 4th team, and you ain't been healthy. You weren't that much of a factor in the finals last year, but you did come through in the postseason. But you really haven't sealed the deal. We don't look at you as a deal sealer. You're in the good to very good class. You're not great. And this playoff Jimmy mess, and that you can turn on and play when you want it, is typical bum behavior, because you're bumming and you're thinking that, well, if I feel like it, because that's what you're saying, Jimmy Butler. It's a lot of moxie. A lot of moxie. Well, he know he trade bait. That's why he's topping off like that. That's what's up. Pat Riley said worse than I said about Tyler Hero, but yet you said I was too rough on him. Pat Riley pays checks. I'm Pat Riley all the way. Ain't no bully. Shoot, you guys is soft cakes. Y'all need to come up and play better basketball. You squandered a chance. An Orlando team, which Ted, props to you. You kept asking me all year were they gonna win that division, and they did. What happened to Miami? And if Butler don't go, where's Tyler Hero at? Always on the fragile, always hurt. I'm gonna be Pat Riley all the way. I'm Pat Riley all the way on this. Cause you two Frosties gotta get tough and win something. This under the dog, Rocky Balboa, we almost there. This Fisher Price mess has got to stop. I'm with him. Excuse me. No COVID. Excuse me. Bam brought it. No, because Bam brings it. Bam plays with the lunch pail. He ain't getting no help. Bam brought it against Boston. Tyler Hero had what, 15? He had that 124 game. He had 15 points, and I watched him. So I knew you can watch me. And he underachieved. He tried to throw the ball at the Celtics, and they punched him in his mouth. And he can't really run roughshod. And then Jimmy over there talking about what he would do. Well, you ain't played. Duncan Robinson does play hard. He can be iffy, but he will give his best effort. But I've been tired of Tyler Hero's mess. He came out last year talking about, I want better than Trey Young and I'm all this. I said, well, prove it. Because you ain't never showed that you could lead the team. Yeah. He more Miami Vice than he's on the court. So I'm Pat Riley all the way on them. Them cats is stealing money. They ain't bringing it. You know, I'm I'm the Heat fan, as you know. So you want to know what I think, you can ask me. Just like I ask you about the Lakers. You want to know. He ain't mature. He be trolling, walking around with that Jermaine Stewart flip last summer. Everything with him is a bunch of giggles and laughs. He ain't he comes with his tough guy aesthetic. Not saying he ain't tough because he's been an underdog all his life. But you can't play that role. You can't play that Rocky Balboa, oh, I'm underdog when you got for prime time. So make it count for something. The reality is he's not considered amongst the elite of the guards, not at that level. Tough, but he ain't a scorer, and he doesn't really, they don't, Remember last time he almost got into it with Spo on the sidelines. Runs his mouth a lot. I don't always agree with everything that Pat Riley has said or done in the past, but I'm gonna tell you something. If you ain't bringing a chip, oh, he gonna come after your butt. Yeah, I don't either because now you've been to two finals. But what I mean by that is that he plays this facade. I'm gonna turn it on in the postseason. I'm gonna be playoff Jimmy. His alter ego. That's what he plays on. As opposed to playing a full season at your best, looking like an all-star. See, if Jimmy Butler could alpha it like Jamal Murray, we ain't saying a word. We not saying a word. But Jimmy, are you better than Bam? Are you the side of Bam? Which one are you? I don't know. So, but that's the attitude that he has. That's what he do. Oh, I'd love to get the Aaron Fox. Think I wouldn't? If we get him, oh yeah, we definitely coming out the East. Because then you would attract what you need to attract. You need somebody like that. You need speed. You need a guy who can bring it. You need that quick starter. Jimmy and Tyler ain't seeing De'Aaron Fox combined. They can't see what that kid can do. I would love to get De'Aaron Fox because they are all fun and games, but they don't play no team basketball. They don't play no defense. They're a one trick pony. They play. They're fun, but they don't. They, and Mike Brown is a good coach, but these guys ain't playing no team basketball. But they got pieces on that team that if you put them elsewhere, oh, they would be a scary juggernaut somewhere. Because if you take Sabonis somewhere and you let him double somewhere where they could use that, oh, he's dangerous. The right fit. Monk could too. But together, it's like a fun get together. You know, it's like the club girl you meet on the weekend. You party with her, but you don't make her your wife Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? No, because the problem is he don't play no defense, and him and Steph would kind of collide. And that's not what Steph needs. Steph needs shooters, man. He don't need a guy that's a one trick pony at the guard. If Steph was playing off the ball, yes, he plays off the ball, but you can't see Steph playing off the rock. No, I told you, Fox come to Miami. Okay, I'll tell you the place is the best for Fox. Instant success. Miami, the Clippers, because you have to clean up house there. He would be scary with Booker. He'd be scared with Giannis. Let's see what else could I pick on. It's got to be a team that's on the upside too. Can't be not no just no stack pad team. It's got to be a team that could be a real contender. Let's see what else could I pick on that he could fit in good with. Yeah, yeah, he'd be good there too. You know, a team that's quick and agile and just needs somebody that can get everybody in point. Oh yeah, he would be. He'd be. You know, so he'd be scary in Philly. He'd be scary in Philly. Because I'd put that three-headed monster with Fox, Maxey, and Embiid. That'd be scary. Hmm. No, 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 no. Boston got handlers and all that. It wouldn't. They wouldn't. It wouldn't work in Boston. I'm talking about places where he could shine, and then he could get the others involved. Tatum and Brown handle the rock too much. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's got to be teams where he could hold his own, and then they got top tier scoring. So, because you got to think like a GM. I'm laughing at you, and I'm laughing at what you said. That ain't gonna happen in a million years. First of all, him and LeBron be fighting all the time. Him and AD be fighting all the time. Second of all, they too old. Third of all, there's nothing he could coach him up, but I mean, it's. And fourth of all, him and Jenny and Kurt Rams. You already know he be on that sideline getting them hugs all the time. Jenny ain't gonna bring that in. She just got married a year and a half ago. She wouldn't bring Udoka in. You know what's up. So that's why that wouldn't work. That there's too many wrongs. Yep, there's too many wrongs involved. There's just too many wrongs. Too much. It's like a Jerry Springer episode ready to happen. So yeah, I don't know. And I don't know how much Jerry Springer you got to watch, but it would definitely come out to Lakerland if that was the case. But you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I think the world of Udoka. That's a bad dude. And Stephen A was talking about that yesterday because he said that the Celtics had him. Because Joe Mueller. Okay, me too. I caught Jerry all in the 90s too. But my point is that um, he is that coach. He's that dude. So he's that dude. Oh yeah, if you had Udoka, you'd have something. But LeBron don't want to be taught nothing. He don't be told nothing. So probably so, but hey, gotta take one for the team. Besides, Kurt ain't rubbed up on that thing in probably 20 years. So whatever. She looking for some TLC. Oh Frank. Oh Frank. Rachel Nichols up there talking about, oh well, it's just all nice. It's nothing like that. I said, okay, let me see you go sit on the sideline and hold up with some brothers. Let's see what happens. Openly too, not what we, I'm talking about openly. So yeah, some of them thoughts be so open with that stuff, they don't care. He did. I used to watch it. You gotta remember something. When I watched the Lakers back in the 80s, they did that all the time. There wasn't nothing to it. He brought Playboy to the Forum, yo. Yeah. Before it was Staples, when it was the Forum, he brought it to the sidelines, yo. He was wilding out big time. Donald Sterling only kept one side dish. Bus kept them. Bus was definitely for the streets and about that life. And he brought Magic on there. Yep. I remember Sterling's situation was gangster. The wife be right in front and the girlfriend be on the side. Crack me up. And he had that dark black dye in his hair. Crack me up. That's pimping. That's what they did. Now, you could call Magic a spy. You can. Because he's the one that got that thing orchestrated. But technically, they broke some laws, though. But they just want him up out of there, though. So, because they did illegally tape him. But they want him up out of there, though. I don't know why. Shit, they sit there and let that white boy sit there for like 30, 40 years being racist as all get up and made all that money. Now he old and senile and he got that bad Rudy Giuliani dye on his head. Now they want to act like they're doing justice. When Elgin Baylor told you 25, 35 years ago, this guy was a straight hardcore bigot, but but anyway. Yep. That's how it goes. But the nosebleed gets the owners of the players. That's what happens. The wires get the front. Everybody knows about everybody too. That's the little game they play. That's a little game they play. Everybody know. It's kind of like in Goodfellas. The girlfriends were there on the weekend. So, yep. Yeah, I heard about that. He did what Sugar Ray Leonard didn't do. Sugar Ray was against that. I don't know what was against. What was he, Fruity? Who? Who are you talking about? Who you talking about? Oh, Sugar Ray was against doing anything with female boy before his fighting. That was his ritual. He went all his stamina. No, some athletes are superstitious against doing certain things before their events. That's kind of like an old school thing. Not fruity, but he just didn't want to partake in certain things before he got the ring. Yeah, by Marley. Yep. It's hard to believe. Seems just like yesterday too. And that movie didn't do him no justice. I didn't waste my time watching that movie. Yeah, I had heard, and I figured they were only going to whitewash it. You know how Hollywood is. Because Rita Marley came out and spoke out against him, and there's a lot of stuff that went on with him. So he was a freak. He was into a lot of different things. So you know, but I hope not. But they probably will. You know how Hollywood is. I don't know. They probably will. You know how original they are in Hollywood, so that don't make no difference. They'll get somebody like Courtney B. Vance to play him, and probably get, I don't know, they'll think of some white boy to play. Wouldn't be surprised. Especially since they're putting certain agendas in Hollywood. Sure, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Now, what video he got now? Do tell. What's that turkey doing now? What's he slurping and sucking on? I try not to watch Tim Scott unless someone sends me something. All right, I'm back. Now I had to get a little comfortable. No, well, tell me about the video. I don't be watching Tim Scott videos. What he do? You know who you talking to? I don't be watching that. People send me the stuff. I don't be watching that clown. And then I make my videos after I watch the stuff. What craziness he talking about now? He in love now. He got the wedding gown. What's he doing? That's not a surprise. Now, tell me something I was shocked of. He probably grins and he's just too happy. You're our favorite N word. You're our favorite. You a good one. You're a good one. Hmm. Yeah, I know what that turkey said. They said when he got pulled over by the police, was it a few months ago? And then he said he had an epiphany. He had an episode. I don't know if you heard about that because I did a video about it. Yeah, they messed with him. He said, "Well, maybe." That's hey, they ain't lying. And his manhood is compromised too. Because if they popping off like that and she don't check him, they know he's soft and he's spineless, and they know what's up. They tell him the facts. He is a meal ticket. He dug her up. She ain't a bad looking chick, but he dug her out the bushes, and white boys ain't gonna mess with her. So, yeah, I'll check out the video. Of course, they dad said it, but see, she's bought and paid for. When she bought and paid for, and see, a lot of cats go for that. Sometimes they go for it, especially. And it's almost like these cats got money, but they don't check it. It's like, look, if you paying for it, you better act like you better call me Toby. You better call me Kunta. Don't call me Toby. But they end up tolerating that mess. They do. She not. She definitely got some screws loose. I'm not gonna say she's necessarily racist, but she definitely got some screws loose if she ain't getting at them kids to tell them to shut up. But I remember that. I saw that. And LL didn't say nothing. Because LL been bought and paid for. Like that new face he be wearing. And all you get out of him is teeth and a kango on his head and over swole. And I know some people come at me and say, well, he would be considered a boy to Biden. I said, Biden know what he meant. Biden said what he meant. I said, LL's a full grown man. But, when you playing in that word, you got to remember, where's he at now? He be on there hosting the Grammys, the oldest corrupt show of award shows up there with the Oscars. But they gave him a token position, and he can't wait to shuffle and be happy. And before the record, he's still one of the greatest rappers I ever heard. He was one of my favorites growing up, but I know where he's working at in CBS. It's all corporate and stiff. I know what he's got to do. They own his hood, so as long as you're working for them, they own your hood. So you know, you're only shocked because you're seeing these cats in a certain light, maybe, but I didn't see these cats when they came out. And you gotta understand something. You gotta give up something to get what he got. You know, it's really just simple. You know, you don't keep getting put in these positions unless, you know, just saying. He do whatever they tell him to do. He make that whack ruckus with Jennifer Lopez. He got to sit there and take it. He wants to host the whack. No. Cube was an ITT student just like Will Smith. See, let me say something to you. Hip hop has the biggest shufflers, coons, and I can say it, time acting, buck dancing, clucking, shuffling, shucking cats in any industry. You know why? You know why? Because rappers are actors. Okay? So when I get you behind that microphone, I got you your name, I got you acting. A lot of them have these mafia names or this imagery and this whole thing. Well, you do realize that's nothing but acting. That's the old MGM, the old Chaplin, the old theaters. That's what they do. It's like that's some of the best that they are the best actors in the business. Okay. Well, I will do a video on that, but I hate talking about old whack Dwayne Johnson. I really do because he is, you know, and he's so pathetic that it's not even funny. Of course he do because he has to. You gotta remember something. He is bought and paid for. You do know when they buy and pay you, you up there holding Kevin Hart like you hold your baby. Now, what do you think about that? Tell me that. I want to know what you think Dwayne Johnson be holding Kevin Hart like a baby. Gaga goo goo. Now you tell me what you think. What's that show to you? I know. I know all what he said. I did a video about it too. I'm not surprised. You gotta remember something. He's in some big white money now. I never said he wasn't. You gotta stop taking most of these entertainers like Malcolm X said. Can't expect them to be most of what you expect. Because the ones that actually hold their end of the bargain up usually get whiteballed and you never hear nothing from them. But a lot of them that you see dancing, yeah, Rocky Johnson was a big boy. Well, you remember when Rock was in Miami and Sapp just pushed him out the way, literally. That's what it was. And he don't mess with Sapp to this day. So is your mama. Got time for nobody to come here with no 5-year-old jokes. But yeah, that's what happened. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. If you have never seen the video with him and Sapp talked about it, because they were UW. They were not UW. You know about the U. They were together at the U. You gotta remember something. Cats don't care how big you are. They weren't intimidated by him. But you gotta remember something. When you play that Hollywood game, that shuffle, you gotta give up something, or you gotta give up something. You know how it go. Shoot. All you gotta do with Dwayne Johnson is just look at how he looks like a cuddly teddy bear having Kevin Hart in his hands, all cuddly. What kind of grown man stuff is that? That's right there when I thought rump roll. That was my rump roll right there. I mean, he holding him in his hands. And stuff be right there in front of you. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, whatever. Listen, Jerry Rice, you were a late pick out of college. How'd it turn out? Stop acting like your son was gonna get some special preferential treatment, that he had done something and he was gonna be a wonder. Let it, and when he gets in the NFL, make him pay. That's how you get the clap back. Make him pay. Don't worry about the draft slide. Make sure he don't slide off the team. Make sure he make him pay. Excuse me. All right. Let's see what time I got. Okay. All right, I got 15 more minutes. I don't know why he'd be upset. It's a winnable series. I don't know if I'd say they look good. They gotta get team ball. You know, again, Tim Hardaway Jr. gotta step up. They all gotta step up. They cannot have a 2-man team against that team and not come away because it's a OKC they're really matched. So I don't know. I mean, I could say OKC's looking good so far too. So pretty matched series. So we'll see how they turn out. What's up? Shaq does stuff like that. He's a good natured dude. He stays humble. He always gave back. That's one thing about it. He's been a very humble dude. Because he grew up a certain way. So he knew. Thoughts and prayers are with you. Thoughts and prayers are with you. And I know I was thinking about that too for you. It's always tough. It's always tough. And some prayers are with you. It's a lot of reflections, a lot of memories, and it's a very tough situation. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah. Um, definitely. And like I always say, you ever need to chop it up, feel free. I didn't deal with death in so many capacities that it's never, it's real. And I don't, when you lose people close to you. So, and I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, talking it out, do whatever you got to do, man. It's a heavy day. And it's a reminder, you know, it's, you know, no, I'm going to be on for 15 more minutes. I got 15, 20 minutes. Cause and when you come on board, I know you can talk, you'll say something crazy. It'll definitely be like worth 10 minutes alone. So I'm waiting on you, but me and Ted are just chopping it up, personal side, but yeah. 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 I'm waiting for that. I didn't really want to even talk about the whole thing with Jenny Bus, but yeah. On my let me see. I got on my computer. Yeah, I'm peeping it up right now. I got that. Thank you. But you want the old Panther party or something? Thank you. I'll do that when I get off. She ain't gonna trade for that. The last time she listened to him, he got Russell Westbrook. How'd that turn out? KD is old. KD back to Golden State. That's about it. Or go somewhere where they got a good old folks. Maybe go to, I don't know. Thanks too. Appreciate that. I wrote that down. I just said fuck all about it. But I definitely end up catching the broadcast anyway. Do I miss old school NBA? Of course I do. Because I grew up when people had identities. There's no identities today. Of course I do. We separated players and teams. We don't do that no more. Teams have no identity anymore. Everybody's running high screen pick and roll, zones, shooting threes, pick and pop. It's not no identity anymore. I did, but I only wanted if look, if they mess up the TNT cast, I don't care. It ain't that exciting to have it no more. They need to get rid of the ABC crew. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know you do. I miss it too because that's back when teams had identity. They were. It was a different era. We just don't have any teams with identity issues. That's a problem. I can tell you so many stories when I look across the NBA why it's so different. You know, did I ever think that I would see a Celtics that suck at home? That's crazy. That used to be the biggest home court advantage in the NBA. Um, Flopping was allowed back then, but the difference was it wasn't pronounced as much as it became. It was there, but it wasn't as pronounced. Became like a way of life. What you mean about Mark Jackson? Do tell. But see, first of all, I don't consider him a superstar. There we go, right there. I think he's a high star. I don't consider him a superstar. He ain't won nothing. And he just plays he's a very talented player, great offensively, hit and miss defensively, but he plays for a historic franchise. But what has he won? So if you ask me, is he a fake superstar? You already answered your question. Pretty much. Which is like in the Vince Carter, Junior Whopper, double Junior Whopper, Kobe Bryant. That's what that means in English translation. You ain't gonna win no chip. That's what that means. There's a lot of them guys that shoulda, woulda, coulda. When Derek White's out there making all them shots, that's crazy. Fake superstar too. Yep. Yep. I'll give you that. Well, see, no, no, because Kawhi won, and Kawhi is an all-time great player. Because Mark wanted to bring religion in, and Mark talks the language that they don't want in. That's what's up, you know. And see, if Mark Jackson was talking like Joel Osteen or T.D. Jakes, he'd have a job tomorrow. Yeah, I've heard the Knicks, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley. I've heard all that. I ain't seen the proof that he's the first of anything. Probably would hire him. I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody gonna hire him. And reason why it's not a shock or surprise to me is that's the same franchise that still allows Kurt Rambis and his wife to manipulate him and dictate him. So would I be shocked or surprised? No. Yeah. $65. No, he wasn't. He was a clown. He was like a glorified, you know, basically mop up duty guy. Had that one catch from Magic. Magic threw that pass on the ground. He caught it and he dunked it, but he's more known for the getting clothesline by Kevin McHale. That's his real claim to fame. Maybe that's why they feel sorry for him. That he got clothesline, because that's the only thing that's his highlight. Yep. Well, no, there's a science to X's and O's. I'm gonna tell you like this. Like Larry Brown, Hubie Brown could coach X's and O's. Personality, there's different ways of being a successful coach. How about them both? Both of them. And before you ask me that that's not fair, it's not they didn't like. Well, Elgin probably spoke his mind. You gotta remember something. Cats speak their mind. They don't get. They either get a horrible gig or they get no job. That's what's up. You both of them, Jay Will. Because Jason Kidd Grant Hill did it. Sure, why not? You can do it. And they were in two different conferences. Sure, why not? Why not? They liked him enough at the end of his career to give him a statue, but again, there's a lot of politics. No, I think you can make a case for both, and I think you can do it in two different conferences. I think you can make that happen. I ain't got no problem with that. Makes no difference. I think they both could have shared it. They've had a tie for it before. It's not gonna make or break you if you have to split it or what have you. 94, look it up. 94, 95, look it up. And the funny thing about that time period, which I remember so well, Grant Hill was obviously they was the toast of the town. Kid had the issues, but Kid came on strong. That's what happened. He had the best coach he ever had with George Carl. Yeah. Well, Jokic won. That's the thing. And sometimes the guy rocks your jersey. He just takes it to another level. What can you say? I mean, it happens. I don't think it's cheating for him. I think he got hit with a fine. Um, it didn't land in the court per se. It landed behind it. I know it's wrong, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that was the same thing. He completely canceled them. He went to New York and you know, it's a two-way street. Happens sometimes, yo. You watch enough sports enough time, it happens where sometimes people just take on a different persona and that's it. They weren't trash. They were making the playoffs. They made the playoffs in the 90s. They had one of the biggest upsets ever in 94. The Kimby and them led them against the Sonics, a 64 win team. Look it up. That's not trash. The 80s, obviously, with Alice English, Dan Issel, Kiki Vandeweghe, second round. What about it? There were some couple of suspect calls in the Eastern Conference Finals. I give you that. Big Dog, Glenn Robinson. Yeah, they just didn't have a bench. and they didn't have Allen Iverson. And Iverson did get some calls in that series. There was some suspect plays in that series, I remember. But that's, again, that's, I got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. Yeah. But he still got some calls in it. That there was some suspect calls in it. Thomas was good for what he was. I don't know what you expect. You know, I mean, he was what he was. He was a decent player. Yeah, well, he became a hired hand. I remember when he was with the Rockets, he was a second tier, third tier type of guard, and he didn't really always fit. But he found him a job, and he always seemed to find him a way to win. So he did work. He did leave with 3 rings, so counts for something. Yep. He was a, you know, but he, again, the style that they played with wasn't going to loan himself to be there for 20 years. So, you know, I like Sam. He should have a whole high coaching job. Can they pull it off? E.T. and Brandy too, the singer Brandy, because she got that same forehead too. Got that head, Brandy and E.T. Um, if Boston gets cute, if Cleveland wins the next game, the pressure's all on Boston for the next 3 after that. And the worst thing can happen to them. That's a 6-7 game series. I'm telling you, they will not win a championship, but that's a 6-7 game series. Yes, you do. But the Cavs got to Boston got to finish them off. Donovan might have a moment or Garland, but you can't have them feeling it because you got house the other night. They bring that energy back to Cleveland, you could beat up against the ropes. I wouldn't mind if they did because I'm so tired of hearing about Boston. I know they overrated. I think Joe Mazzulla is a good coach, but he ain't great. And I think that they just don't have the discipline, and I think that they think they can turn it on. Yeah, I saw her. I hadn't talked about it, but I saw her. Looking like Ving Rhames is scary. Unless she's doing Arby's commercials. Yeah, I seen her. And I heard Trump was meeting with her too. Well, what happened is a lot of people have been dissing her for years. So, they've been calling her He-Man and all that, so she got dissed. Well, for advice, because I think there's that lawsuit about there was something going on. It's about business. It's got nothing to do with personal. Yeah, I saw her. Sometimes she wasn't told that she was attractive. There have been some cruel people talking about her. So let's see. No, black folks were making fun of her. as far as her sexuality, I did hear some cats. I had a buddy of mine who thought called her He-Man. I've heard people talk about her. Okay, I'm gonna not. Both of y'all gotta this anti-Jordan mess about this. You would fail with them turkeys too. What's your point? The guy was past 40. Kobe lit him up, but what's your point? What you trying to make a deal about that? And what happened to those guys? What did Larry Hughes exactly do? What did Jerry Stackhouse actually do? What did Popeye Jones actually do? Only Rip's got a career that count and matter, and he got ran out the league after he won, and he could actually shoot shots. What happened? He did this cheap shot thing to bring Jordan. I remember that game. It was like watching an exhibition because it really was past the pool day, but still, I don't really even talk about it because his Washington era was not that memorable. But I do remember that dumb game. The Lakers lost in DC. I think Ori and Kobe couldn't decide with the ball or something, and the Wizards beat them at the end. It was a fluky mess. It was a crazy ending to that one game in Washington that they beat LA. Shaq missed that game. It was some fluky that happened, how they lost. Yeah. Yeah, but you do know what he beat. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but you do know that was, yeah, not quite the same. He was good. He wasn't great. He could motivate you to be like a cheerleader type, get you to a certain point, but he wasn't a finisher. He did pretty good in Chicago and he did pretty good in Detroit. He stunk in Washington. But, you know, because Doug be trying to push people and he always try to get at you and it gets a bit nauseating. That's why Kwame Brown cussed him out, talked trash about him, hurt his feelings, made him cry. And he's a bit whiny. I remember when the Pistons beat the Bulls. I don't know if you ever saw that. And I remember they asked Michael Jordan. He cried after they won. He said, "I'll give him something to cry about." But I guess he forgave him because he ended up hiring him at Washington as his coach. But at the time, it was hilarious, though. But yeah, it's possible. I don't know what happened with those two, but I understand. Doug can get on your nerves. He can be creating. He can grate on your nerves. So yeah, that was hilarious. But they made up though. But I remember when that game was over, he said, "I'll give him some." Oh, I'll do that before I go and save it for the next time. Say that for next time. But we're gonna remember that though. You got to be more clarified when you say that too, because they had to make moves they should have made, then they did something dumb. And well, he got out coached. The Rasheed Wallace, the center, was a smart move. They just didn't finish what they had started. They had the right kind of game that they wanted. I think they went in LA and got blew out, and Game 6 made them just like whatever. Like they was just kind of like a carefree game. That's on him. Yeah, okay. The Sheed move was classic. They just couldn't score. And Perk was a no score. So how is that going to help you? It was a slow slug fest, so it wasn't going to make a difference. You know, 82, 83, 79 is not exactly like, oh, yeah, I just got it on my computer. I'm going to catch it too because I got to get ready to go. Appreciate you letting me know about that too. They very evenly matched team. Well, he still was in shape enough to play. He could still play. Yeah, I'll catch up tomorrow with you. Appreciate you, Jay. Thanks, man. Yeah, she could still play. He was older too, and of course, after he had that run in Detroit, he probably did pick up more pounds. I mean, you gotta remember, not making no excuses, but he was still legit though. It's just that's not why they lost that series to the Lakers. That was a good move to put him at center. They just couldn't get no scoring. That's all. And I think they squandered Game 6 and took getting blowed out and thought they were going to turn it on for Game 7. That's the sad reality for them. So that's what's up. Anyway, um, let me see what he got. Eight points. That's balling, huh? That's what we call balling. Okay. PJ Washington is balling. Tim Hardaway Jr. What they got going for them is what I was afraid of with about my problem with OKC. OKC is missing a guy that can just be a pure scorer. That's their problem, you know. And if you give a nudge to one thing, it may loan itself to one way. So that's the only reason why I think that's going to be a problem. But either one of these two teams could win the series. It all depends on the style, you know. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to roll. Give me something to eat. Yeah. Well, they need a guy that can cherry pick. That's what they're missing. If you must know, if you're OKC fan, you get you a guy who can cherry pick, you will be all right. That's all they need. That's all they need. All they need. Get someone who can cherry pick, they'll be fine. Hit that perimeter shot. But this, this is a learning curve for them. And Shea's only going to get better too. But he can't do it all alone. They got to get, him and Hogan, they got to get another. They're missing another piece. That's it. Anyway, thoughts and prayers with you, man, for tomorrow. I know it's a heavy day, so thoughts and prayers with you. And appreciate you. And stay up, stay safe, stay blessed, stay strong, stay warm. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll discuss what I saw. Hope to see you. Take care. Peace.